This is a must visit.
Yes.
I need to get to.
Yep.
I need to visit Uranus.
Yep. See, even you can't.
It's like you can't even help it. You can't help it.
You can't. It's what comes out of your mouth. That sort of thing. So it is what it is.
Do you love to travel?
Do you love road trips?
Do you love finding hidden treasures in towns all over the USA? Hi, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Craig. Welcome to Treasures of Our Town. It's the podcast that explores unique and charming towns scattered throughout the United States.
Join us as we venture to some of the country's most intriguing destinations, uncovering hidden gems and local secrets along the way.
On today's episode is basically like a part 2 compared to last episode because I'm still in your living room, Josh.
Yes, this is true, and we're about to go to Uranus.
No, they actually pronounce it Uranus. I'll say that.
I was trying to be classy, Craig.
No class here, Josh. Well, I'll leave out some things, but not all. Just saying. But no, I do go to Uranus, which is that was a wild time. Just saying. And I'll get to that later on in the show.
I can't wait. Well, you know what, Craig? We haven't talked in I don't know, 5 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
It's good to see you again.
The amount of time that you took to go and get your contact lenses out and I pour us another beer, that's what it was.
Yes, we are still face to face at my kitchen table, basking in the glow of the silver play button. I told you.
I
have to mention it. I gotta just let it go.
He's proud of his play button.
I'm proud of my play button because it's in my town and I'm proud of my town.
Oh, jeez. No, you can't use that this time. We're not there.
Okay.
No, you use that last episode.
I'll have to find a different place within this podcast to say that something or somebody is proud of their town.
Yes. I can guarantee I know where it's going to be placed. But anyway, we'll soon see. It's going to be placed in Uranus. But anyway, we're going to manifest, Josh, our delayed and upgrades. Well, firstly, what is our delayed? What is our upgrade?
Yes.
What does it mean?
Can we just say first, so everybody explains or everybody knows what we're talking about, is because we just recorded the previous episode that you listened to 2 weeks ago. Our delay and our upgrade has not technically changed.
No.
In the last 5 minutes.
But we're gonna manifest, you said. Manifest what's gonna happen in the next 2 weeks for us.
So this is gonna come out Memorial Day weekend. And we gotta manifest what is good, what great thing, and what horrible thing.
Well, not horrible, just delayed.
Yeah, what low?
Yeah, what low? Highs and lows. So do you want to go first, Josh?
Yes, I'm going to manifest.
Yes.
Ready? My high was seeing the Grand Canyon for the first time in my life. Craig, it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
We took a dome car.
Yes.
If you don't know what a dome car is, it's a train car with a dome.
Dome glass on top, and see.
We had beers.
Yeah.
As we're looking at the beautiful scenery on the way to the Grand Canyon. We got to the Grand Canyon.
It was you and me and Minnesota boy.
Yes. It was certainly an upgrade.
Yep.
And we were way up there on the top, looking down into the abyss.
Yeah.
That is the Grand Canyon, a natural wonder of the world.
Yeah.
Boy, was that cool.
That was, that was
No,
cool.
It was cool. We're manifesting it like it's going to happen.
What was your delay and that's the case then, Josh?
My gosh.
What do you think is going to be the...
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I miss my dog.
Oh, that's going to happen. You know that already.
I'm manifesting this. Yeah, it has happened.
And it will happen because you'll be away from
me.
We're
time travelers right now, Craig.
How long will you be away from me for on this trip? A week.
Monday to Monday.
I guarantee he's going to miss you as well.
It's a long time, right, buddy boy? I mean, he's not here. I missed him.
Yeah. Wow, that's
pretty
good.
accurate.
That's pretty accurate.
I think that's going to happen. I will miss my dog.
Yep.
That's the pit of despair. Low, major delay. At least a 3-hour delay.
Yeah.
At least. How about you, Craig? What are you going to manifest?
Well,
what's your upgrade?
Simply, so my upgrade I already know what my upgrade is going to be.
Is that you're actually going to get upgraded in a flight? No, you're not, because you're not flying.
I'm driving, Josh. I'm driving.
That's a downgrade.
So I'm driving. I'm driving all the way across. So I'm coming from here. I'm going to be doing the North and South Dakotas, which I haven't done yet. I haven't been there yet. They're going to be. Wow. I do believe they're going to be my 45th and 46th, or 46th and 47th.
You're doing it wrong, Craig.
I know I should.
You have to do North Dakota, the last state. That's like literally their marketing. They want to be the last state.
Yeah.
Like if you go to their visitor center and it is your last state, you get a T-shirt that says the last state.
I'll just go there anyway and say it's my last. How can you prove
that's
otherwise?
You're Craig. That's lying. Lying is wrong.
Listen to you. But what I'm saying is, I digress. I'm going North South Dakotas, and then I'm going into Wyoming, Josh. Wyoming is my favorite state.
That you've never been to?
I've been to Wyoming.
Okay.
I've been to Wyoming. I have been to Wyoming, and it is my favorite state. People ask me all the time, I've been to 46 states now. Which is your favorite? I always say Wyoming. And I'm going to meet a good mate of mine who I haven't seen in a number of years. Good old Smile Makers is his geocaching name. So Dave, yes, I'll be meeting up with Dave for an afternoon.
You're going to meet him in wide open spaces.
It's actually Gillette, the best a man can get. So that's where it will be. Anyway,
Gillette?
Yeah, Gillette's the town's name.
Town?
Yeah, Gillette's the town name.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the best a man can get. So there you go. So that's going to be my upgrade, Josh. I already knew what my upgrade was going to be.
What's going to be your delay?
My delay is that I am going to be busy.
Yeah, how are you going to do it all, Craig?
I've got to drive. I'm by myself. I've got to drive.
Yes.
I've got to edit this podcast.
I've
got to do another podcast with Rob. I've got to edit a video. I've got to edit other videos. I've got to edit other podcasts.
You have to drive.
And I have to drive. I said drive first, but I have to drive second as well.
Yeah.
Sometime I have to sleep and stop in roadside of my car too.
I
So
know.
there's going to be long days ahead.
Yeah, you got a lot of work to do.
So that's going to be my delays is going to be the long days. Yeah. It can't be, what I've been used to, which is like the 2 or 2.5 hour drive now that I do. Yeah. It's a scenic drive, and then I'll get to a location and then I'll, putt around the town and have a look around the town. Maybe go to a brewery, Josh. I'm at a brewery
every day,
3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, having a nice, flight of beers and trying the local breweries themselves. Yeah. And logging them all on Untapped, just saying.
You are an Untapped power user.
I am. And that's what I'm normally used to. But this is not going to be the case for me for the next week and a half. It's going to be flat chat. So that's going to be my delays. I won't be delayed per se.
Right.
It's just going to be, I'm going to be busy.
You have a goal. You have to get to Phoenix. At a certain point. You can't dilly-dally.
Pick you up.
Pick me up. You have to edit my Munzy video that you're going to be shooting this weekend.
Exactly. I've got to do that as well while I'm driving. I've got to then record another podcast.
You're going to edit my video while you're driving?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh boy. I might have to do some quality assurance.
I'll do an edit. You still have to do quality assurance. I can guarantee that because I'll be editing in my rest stop areas. In the front seat of my car with my laptop on my lap, literally a laptop, and doing it that way. So
those are some good projections.
They're good
our
projections,
highs and lows. Yes. My low wasn't too low.
No, your low was, and you know what?
But it's real.
It's going to be real. Your low is going to be the realest of the lowest.
I'm also going to miss my family, but let's be real. I'm going to miss Goliath the most.
Exactly.
I'm just being honest, people.
And it's okay.
Don't judge me.
You can say that though on this podcast. Friend, guys. You can say that on this podcast because they don't listen to this podcast.
That's true. And that's also my low.
Meanwhile, you even tell me your wife now. She's saying, be quiet, guys, down there on the dining room table. Or she's closed the door. She's watching something on her iPad. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
No.
Craig,
yes, mate.
I'm so excited to talk about your halfway across America road trip. You've been road tripping a lot, but I'm really, really excited. I've seen the pictures.
Yeah,
you text me every once in a while. I'm like, Craig, where are you next?
You see,
so
you don't see my Snapchats because you're not on Snapchat.
That's for the kids.
That's why I'm on it.
That's for the kiddos. I can only be on so many social media. I'm on Be Real.
Yeah, I know. I'm on Be Real as well. I'm on Be Real.
I think that's where I get to. That's honestly where I see where you're at.
Yes, is on Be Real.
And I like Be Real because it's so random of when it goes off. If you don't know what Be Real is, people, basically it's a social media app. Every day it says at a random time. It changes every day. It says,
Yeah.
time to be real.
Yeah.
And you have 2 minutes to take a picture of whatever you're doing in that moment.
Yeah.
And so it's fun because, you know, a lot of times you're geocaching, sometimes you're driving, but mostly you're having fun.
Yeah.
And so I want to hear about all the fun.
Well, all my fun that I've had. So I left New Jersey on this trip. Now, if you don't know, I've got an SUV. Okay, yes. And it's a nice four-wheel drive SUV. Big
What's
enough.
It called? What's its name?
Its name is Stu.
Stu.
As in Stuart. Yeah. Because of my registration plates, or you call them license plates here, or tags, or whatever you want to call them.
License plates.
License plates. My license plates actually say Mate Stu.
Wait, Mate Stu?
So, like, he's my mate, Stu.
Yeah, but what's the actual plate?
M83.
M83.
STU.
Did you get that on purpose?
No.
Whoa.
Jersey plates. Wow. They give them to you like random.
It named itself.
It named itself. Before I got my plates, because obviously with your rules here and stuff as well, and I bought it and I didn't have plates. I had those paper plate things that you have here.
Right.
Very strange for an Australian, just saying.
Yeah.
We get our plates at the registry. Anyway, you know, I was lucky to register it at the DMV because you guys, you know, they're like sloths here. But anyway, they're so slow. So you give me those paper ones that just have a random number on it, and that was it.
Right.
And so they came in the mail, and when they came, I didn't even know what they were. And then I looked. Before that, though, I'd named my car Eddie because it's an Eddie Bauer model. So Eddie Bauer is the model of my car. Yeah. It's a Ford Explorer.
Yeah. Stu didn't like that.
No, he didn't. So as soon as I got the plates, I went, oh, sorry. This is
sorry, pal.
Sorry, mate. This is my mate Stu. You know, so that's
mate Stu.
Me and my mate Stu.
And only Australians call friends mates.
Exactly.
So it's perfect.
So,
my mate Stu.
Although here's an Australian tip for you, Josh.
Yeah.
So if I'm talking about someone like you, that's my mate Josh. And see how I say it? That's my mate Josh. Yeah. If I'm talking about someone who I don't like, I go, oh, he's your mate. So,
like you're not.
Like say we don't like a person named Johnny.
Right.
Oh, your mate Johnny. So when I'm talking about him, I say he's your mate Johnny, even if he's not your mate.
And that means you don't necessarily.
That means I don't like
them,
him.
Or
that means I don't like
what
him.
if you just don't know them? Can you say that's your mate?
But you say it differently.
How do you say it?
Or you even say friend. You go, oh, your friend Johnny, as opposed to, oh, no, that's your mate Johnny. And you pronounce the your.
Oh, you put the emphasis on the your.
The emphasis on the your mate.
That's your mate. That's not
your
my,
mate.
That's not my mate.
No, exactly
that guy's
right.
a jerk.
That's your mate. There you go. See, I'm giving you the Aussie tips here, so there you go. Yeah,
I can't wait to actually use that in real life.
Never.
Maybe if I go to Australia. But I think I'm going to like a lot of people in Australia. So,
but again, Josh, I love this word, digress. We're doing it again.
It's good.
So my vehicle itself, I basically reside in it to when I travel.
Yeah.
I took out,
which means you live in it.
Yeah. I took out the rear seats. Now mine, it's got the rear seats. There's 3 seats.
Okay.
And then behind that, Josh, you call it the trunk area.
Yeah.
It had another 2 seats. You see.
Yes. It had a third row.
It had a third row.
Yeah.
I took out the third row. Took out the second row.
Perfect.
And so then I laid a flat timber board down on the floor, etc. Made it like a little hatch underneath at the back, so I could put my Starlink underneath as well in storage.
Nice.
Underneath where it comes out where the footwell in the second one is, that's storage area under there. See, natural storage, perfect. I've got a beautiful, it's so comfortable, 6-inch memory foam mattress in the back, but it's only the single one because it's only me.
Right.
So it's a single one, goes down one side, and then on the other side, I've built out a shelf system as well for part of my clothing area and part of my food and knickknacks as well. So
it sounds cozy.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel claustrophobic?
No, I love it. I love it.
You like your little nest?
Yes, my nest. And I call it that too. It's my nest.
Little nest.
And it's funny enough. So in the warm or cooler weathers, etc., I've put what they call reflectix, which is it's like an insulated sort of material, and I've wrapped that in like a black plastic, and that goes over the back window. You see, so it's totally black in there. On the side windows, the back side windows, again they've got the same black plastic through, and then I put it up into the back windows. And then between the driver's area, the front of the car, and the back, I've got a rope of sorts.
Oh, like a curtain thing?
And then 2 curtains, blackout curtains to go across. Exactly.
Nice.
So I'm fully blacked out.
So when you lay your head down and you lay straight on your back with your legs out, are your legs touching the end?
No.
So there's room.
There's room. I'm 6 foot.
Yeah.
I'm exactly 6
How
foot
much
0.
extra room would you say from pillow to, like, how much space till your feet would hit that back?
Probably 3 inches. So not that much.
Not that much.
Not that much.
But you're not. It's
but
not.
It's
You're not having
me.
to curl up.
No.
To feel comfortable.
And I'm a side sleeper anyway. So when I sleep on my side, sort of my knees bend.
Shortens yourself.
It shortens myself up anyway. So yeah. So
sounds
there you
cozy.
Go. So this is my vehicle that I travel and live in basically.
And work in.
And
do podcasts in.
Podcasting.
Does everything.
Exactly.
Thanks, Eddie.
So why not? Exactly. So I left New Jersey just around the end of April. It was when I left New Jersey.
Wow.
And my first stop, Josh.
Yes.
I drove all the way through to a place called, just south of Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Do you play baseball? Watch baseball? You're more of a basketball /
I don't
football fan, aren't you?
Watch baseball.
Yep.
Unless I actually go to the park, because for me, baseball is all about the atmosphere.
Oh, true. True.
So I enjoy it live.
Yeah.
I'm not a guy that necessarily watches it on TV.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Well, we've got a patron out there named Dan Truckenmiller. Or his geocache name is The Truck.
The Truck.
The Truck. So he's got a farm, Josh, out there. And he said to me at any point in time, this is going back, 2 years ago, he said, Craig, if ever you're coming through Pennsylvania, let me know.
Perfect.
I let him know. And so I diverted slightly. I went north for him.
Okay.
100% worth it though. And I said to him, like, with my car and stuff, he's like, yeah, you can stay in on my farm.
Perfect.
Josh.
Nobody's going to bother you out there.
No one's bothered me. I go, don't get the knockout there by the local law enforcement.
Right.
But no, so I went up there and I spent all afternoon with Dan. And he took me around to all of his caches around that sort of area. Oh, mate, I'm telling you.
Does he have good caches?
He's got some great caches. Of course, what he does, Josh, he watches your videos. Yes. He watches, like in Germany, when you're in Germany, all those ones. He's seen all those. He's seen
inspired.
He's seen the West Virginia Tim caches as well. But he also hits up with I can't think of his name now, who does all the gadget caches online.
West Virginia Tim, right?
No, the other one, the younger, I can't think of his name, behind the cache.
Derek
Baker. Derek Baker. I forgot it. I can't believe. Yeah. Sorry, I would apologize, Derek, if you're listening. But yeah, he watches all Derek's stuff as well, because Derek does Gadget Cache podcast too. See, so he watches that sort of stuff and he gets inspiration, Josh, from all that.
Cool.
And so obviously, because I watch all the same videos as well, so I knew a lot of the ins and outs. But in saying that, some of the caches, he stood back and let me hunt for these caches. Josh, there was one cache there, and I did a TikTok about it too.
Okay,
I said to him, can I film these? He goes, I was hoping you'd
that's
do
cool.
it. So it was really cool. I was allowed to film all of them, which is really awesome.
That's awesome.
And more are coming out now. I've just got to get through them. That's all. You know what it's like when you put them in the hopper. But there was this one cache, Josh. It's on a beautiful walk-around scenic area that not many people know about. Okay. And we're walking through, and he said, and I'm looking at my phone as you do, and it's like, a couple of feet off. I'm like, okay, put the phone away. I'm looking around. And I'm like, oh, and I started picking up rocks because there's a little rock platform. I go, it's not just a devious, hidden rock thing.
Right.
He's like, no. I'm like, okay. So I'm looking around, and he said to me, he gave me a hint. He goes, what size is it? Oh, I didn't check. I had a look. It's a large.
What?
I'm like, what? Where is this large? Where is this large?
Oh, you gotta love that. It must be hidden in plain sight somewhere.
Oh, it was so hidden in plain sight.
Oh, cool. Tell me more.
So you recall when you and I were at I think it might have been the pizza. No, it was in California, and you found that fake rock, but it was a fake boulder.
Yeah,
that was handmade.
Yeah.
He'd done the similar thing. It was a fake boulder. It had moss on it, Josh.
Wow, it looked real.
He had created this in readiness to put it somewhere years ago, you see, and had it out on his farm, collecting the moss. He let it look natural. And then and it was full concrete, but you couldn't tell it because of the texture. It blended in with all the other rocks that were there, all the other boulders that were there as well. And it was quite heavy still.
Yeah.
Pick it up inside the big ammo can, came falling out the bottom. So yeah, that was really cool. That was cool.
Dan is great. He's also a patron of the geocaching vlogger too.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a great
this guy. Spent some money.
Yeah. He supports it because he's getting inspiration from it. It sounds like
he does.
It's pretty cool. Gadget caches and
absolutely
the cache you just described. So that's
absolutely
really cool.
does.
I want to go out. Pennsylvania is a state that I've found one cash in.
Oh, really?
But I want to visit Pennsylvania because I want to go to Pittsburgh. I want to visit. There's a Mr. Rogers virtual. You know I love Mr. Rogers. And there's a museum.
You're the Mrs. Rogers of geocaching, you've been said before.
I know. I'm also a big fan of Rocky, so I want to visit the Rocky statue.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we might need to make a trip to Pittsburgh.
Well, if we do, his door is open. He said that.
Really?
Too. Yeah. He said if you guys want to record a podcast here on the farm, you can.
Pittsburgh. I got to clarify. Pittsburgh, Mr. Rogers. Philadelphia, Rocky.
Yeah.
But hey, same state.
Same state. And Williamsport is almost halfway in between the two and north of the two as well.
I'm looking at it right.
It's
pretty much smack dab. I'd say almost in the middle of Pennsylvania.
Yes,
almost.
yes. It's west of Scranton. If people know where Scranton is, because of
Come on, Craig.
And you wonder why.
Aren't you a fan of The Office?
Yes, but you wonder why. Like Tammy's like, oh, she's in the bedroom. Oh, here he goes again.
She knows.
Josh is the loudest.
She knows the content is priority.
Oh, is
because
that what it is?
There's a silver play button.
Here he goes again,
looking over our kitchen table.
And you can probably hear your voice, Josh, change slightly as you look towards it and pamper it. But anyway,
all right,
we'll get back to it.
We
get back to it. So before we're finished as well, he took me the second day. I mean, I had dinner there with his wife and his daughter as well. Absolutely great guy. And then him and his wife took me to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, which is just a little bit north where his farm was. Yeah. Williamsport, Pennsylvania is the home of the Little League World Series, Josh.
Hey.
So
shout out to Scott Burks and his whole family.
Yeah. I didn't realize that the Little League World Series is all done at one town called Williamsport. It's not throughout the country. No,
that's where the World Series
That's where the World Series is. So we went
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. We went to the field, but this is the best part. We went to the field, nice big bronze statue, of course, as well. This field, I tell you, no wonder. ESPN, like banners up there and everything. It's Little League. It's kids, Josh, playing a game. But it is legit.
It's like professional.
Like the turf is like laid, gorgeous green coloured turf, etc. as well. So there is a virtual cache as well if you want to go there itself. Plenty of Munzys as well, which is awesome.
Yes.
But after that, we went into the town of Williamsport.
Okay.
Now the town itself has embraced the baseball.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure
it brings a lot of money to town.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
And you can tell why, because of the bronze statues everywhere. Okay, this town is bronze statued baseball fans.
What are the bronze statues of?
The best part.
They're not kids.
Yeah.
Bronze statues of kids?
Yes.
Like that have become famous baseball players?
No.
Just rando kids?
Okay, so in the main intersection of town, the actual main cross intersection of town, it's a nice big intersection. There's traffic lights there as well. And there's a really cool adventure lab just at the one intersection with the five waypoints. You've got on every corner is one of the bases. So you've got first base, second base, third base, and home plate. Okay, all bronze. At each base, it's called bases loaded because there's the fielders there, Josh. There's the runners are on base as well.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's the heart of what World Series baseball, Little League baseball was all about in terms of the inclusivity of everything. So at one point there on third base, the runner at third base, Josh, he's got, run, Forrest, run, when he's got those stilts in his legs. Braces, yeah. So this kid, bronzed, kid there with braces on his legs, about to run from third to home.
Oh, that's cool.
So stuff like that. It's really cool. It's really, really
neat.
neat.
That's an adventure lab?
That's an adventure lab in the middle of town there.
Oh, that's neat.
Then you've also got, at the home plate, you've actually got, and it's all bronze, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You've got the actual net behind, all in bronze net.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's netting as well. You can put your fingers through it, which is awesome. And then you've got three men standing over like a pole, and they're watching it on. So you've got one of the guys there who's the creator of the Little League Baseball World Series. Okay. He's the creator. You got another guy there who was basically the advertiser for it all. Like he was the one who brought in ESPN and all the advertisers of it and the media. And then in the middle is George Bush. Because George Bush was there and he facilitated. He was
W or
George W.
or senior.
George.
I
I
bet she's probably senior.
I think it's senior.
Like not got that. Wouldn't be prudent.
I don't know. I'm Australian, but anyway, the best part again. One of the things was he's there as well because he was president at the time and he visited to sort of open up the World Series, Little League World Series baseball. In the back pocket, it's actually got the pamphlet of the year he was there with the year on it and stuff as well. So it is a really, really awesome place to go. The only thing I said to Heather, Dan's wife, because she's on some committee or board or something, because she said that they're always upgrading, Josh, this plaque. I said to her, because it's basically the guy's just hit. So the whole thing is the batter, he's just hit the ball. Okay. And he's looking up with the batter over his other shoulder, his left shoulder after swing. The runners are running. So the runners are going. And then there's a guy that's looking up. They're looking up. And they're all looking to where the ball would be. Okay. But there's no ball. And I said to her,
so where's the ball?
I said to her, the ball should be embedded into the wall of the building across from second base.
That'd be cool.
Like up the top. That'd so it's cool. Like a home run.
That'd be cool. And
that's what she said. So guess what? She's going to put it in the notes for the committee.
Who is?
Heather, Dan's wife. Yeah.
I didn't know she was okay. Oh, she's super involved.
Dan and Heather are very involved in the whole committee. Yeah.
Okay.
Of things,
so just so you know, I'm fact checking.
Yes,
checking you.
Thank you.
It was George W. Bush.
It was George W.
It was W.
There you go.
And he became the first president to visit the Little League Baseball World Series, watching as Japan defeats a Florida team. He was the first one.
There you go.
There you go. It was W.
And what year was it?
I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't say. But anyway, year. I can't say the year because that's probably. I think that's the.
We don't want to give any answers.
That's a question for one of the Adventure Labs. But there you go.
Okay, cool. So that's Little League World Series.
Yes.
The Dutch Rook.
Yes.
All those great caches. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep traveling.
Moving on. So I stayed there one night, moved on, and when I travel, people ask me as well. Here's more travel tips for everyone out there too. If you're traveling like me, and if you're in an RV, for instance, or if you're in a vehicle of some sort that's equipped and you can actually stay, your best place. People think Walmart's are the best place to stay. Nah, not so much.
Not gonna do it.
Not so much.
Wouldn't be prudent. Sorry, that's George Bush again.
The reason why I say Walmarts aren't as good is because they're big open spaces. Some Walmarts now don't allow it anymore. Yeah. We call them hoons in Australia, and they're like younger generation
rebel rousers,
car lovers who come and do donuts in the middle of car parks.
I call those scuzzballs.
Yeah, those. So you get a lot of those coming in of a night in Walmarts and stuff as well. So
not a great place.
The best place to stay.
I know.
Cracker Barrel.
Oh, yeah.
Cracker Barrel.
Get breakfast in the morning.
Exactly right.
Do some shopping. They have a great gift shop.
Yep, exactly right. And that's what you do as well. So you stay there overnight. And it's free when you park up overnight. Absolutely free. But again, and you can use their bathrooms. They're happy for you to stay there. Most of them are. I always double check with the manager. But yeah, I go in for breakfast. I mean, you can't beat their breakfast, Josh.
Yeah, they got good biscuits.
The old timers, I always get the old timer breakfast. Yeah. Bacon, eggs with that hash brown casserole.
That's great.
I'm
hungry. I eat breakfast anytime. We should go to Denny's after this podcast.
Yes. So that's where I normally stay, and it's free, and they're straight off the highway normally as well, so they're easy to stay at. So that's where I normally stay. After I left Pennsylvania, Josh, I went over to Maryland, and I went to Cooper's Rock State Forest in Maryland. Oh,
yes.
Why did I go there?
Why?
Because there's a cache across America at the Cooper's Rock State Forest.
Briefly tell the people what is cache across America?
Okay.
We've talked about it on this podcast.
We have, but totally not sponsored. You can go to geocachingcentral.com and they have the full outline and list and what you need to do. But basically, the basic rundown is there's one geocache in every single state that is a cache across America.
One special cache.
One special cache in every state. You must obtain that cache, put your name on the logbook. You then got to take a photo of yourself with the cache as well. So they do require you to take a photo. And then when you log it, you put that photo on. They're happy to have spoilers on the page, so put your photo on the log. That's all good. They do then have a code underneath in the cache somewhere, whether it's underneath the ammo can lid or wherever it might be. But there is a code inside the cache. Yes. You must write down that code for that cache itself. You do all 50 states, including, Alaska and Hawaii as well. And then the final is in DC. And the final then requires you to do some math, etc., as well, with all the numbers you've got to actually get to the GZ of that location. After you find GZ, you can then email the person who owns GZ, and they will put you on the Hall of Fame, Josh.
That's cool.
That's cool. So
yeah, and not
many people have done it.
Not many people have completed it. When we're in the world of geocaching, like there's lots of geocaches. Very few people have accomplished this.
Yeah.
I'm really curious, how many have you done so far? Cache Across America.
Cache Across America? So, the actual cache, because I only started this, Josh, this year.
That's fine, but how many are you? You have more than I do.
Yeah, I think I'm up to 14 now in
You're
total.
going to get 15 on this coming Monday.
Yes, exactly.
Minnesota's.
With
that
you.
I have DNF'd.
Yeah, you won't this Monday.
It's back. I'm just going to say it was gone.
It was gone.
It was gone. There's a video there.
So that's the reason, though, I went to Maryland. That's the reason why I went to Cooper's Rock State Forest as well.
Yeah.
But to get this one, Josh, the Cache Across America, it's a 2-hour round trip hike again, like you kind of did as well. But this is more of a foresty hike.
Yes.
It's a really nice. It's so scenic and gorgeous. But the best part is, you have to actually walk past the cache by a little bit to get to the big overlook. There's nothing stopping you from falling off this overlook.
Oh yeah, it's one of those.
It's one of those. There's no
like
bars.
the last episode where I almost fell into the sea.
Exactly, that's what it's like. And this one, it's got some how with the rocks part they split slightly, and it's just still sitting there. But there's that big crevice down the middle of the rock that goes for hundreds of feet down.
Right,
and I'm talking hundreds of feet down here. And that rock is sitting there by itself. I may or may not have jumped back and forth a few times on that. There's a video that's going to come out of that shortly too. So.
Oh, you haven't done a video of that yet, but it's coming.
Well, I haven't edited yet. I've been too busy. But so there's that one there. And again, it's not just the actual cache.
Right.
It's the places which it takes
Totally.
You know what it's
And a lot of these Cache Across America caches this is an older program, and they were hidden it's a very purist geocaching. Like it's mostly or all ammo cans.
Yeah.
And they're pretty remote places,
Yeah.
often kind of cool places,
Yeah.
but off the beaten path. I've done a couple Cache Across America. The best one I've done, and you're going to get to go to it, is in Wyoming.
Oh, I won't get to it this trip though.
Oh, you won't get it?
No. Oh, what's he done, the little fella? Little Goliath. You can hear him in the background.
Excited about Cache Across America.
He did.
You're not going to get. So the one in Wyoming is in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Yes. Yeah. I'm getting
in the Grand Tetons.
I know. I'm not getting that far across. I know.
You'll get there.
I'll get there eventually.
So a lot of people say it's one of the best Cache Across America spots. I have a video of it.
Oh,
let's put it in the show notes.
Okay. Remind me.
I was there for work.
You put it in there.
Can you believe that? I did
there for work?
I was there for speaking in a school.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
But it's a great one.
I will say though, this one here in Maryland, it is the second largest ammo can I have ever seen.
Oh, it's one of those like ape cache size.
It's slightly smaller than ape cache.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not one of the freestanding ape cache that's like 4 foot tall.
Yeah.
But this one's wide, and I'm talking 3 or 4 foot wide.
Yeah.
Like it's a heavy thing as well, and it was stocked to the brim, Josh.
We've got one like that.
Oh, you do?
Here, I wonder if we have time for it. It's called like the biggest cache in whatever town.
Oh,
it is. It's like it's a wide ammo can, tall and wide.
Yep. So
where next? Where are we going, Craig?
Straight through. So we're going to head west. And now the reason why I head west this way, I wanted to visit Morgantown, West Virginia.
I've always wanted to go there.
You did?
Yeah. There's a different reason.
Oh.
And I'll talk about it. But tell me about it. I've never been there.
My reason is because a friend of yours, mine, the podcast and the Munzy and geocaching world, it was actually studying there at the time. Buckeye Cacher 111 studies at West Virginia WVU in Morgantown as well. So
good old Carson.
Good old Carson was there. So I met up with Carson, and he gave me the tour, Josh. He gave me the tour of Morgantown, including, but this is wait for it. It ends with him buying me dinner in the cafeteria.
I know exactly why too.
Yeah,
because my kids My kids could do the same thing because I assume he had some extra meal swipes.
Oh yeah, no, not some extra meal. He had extra meal dollars on, and he had to get rid of it because they can't. He couldn't roll it over. No, he couldn't roll it over. He can't carry it over. So he had to get rid of it to the point where you love this. 2 days after I was there, he was hosting a geocaching event whereby at the event he was supplying the event attendees with like snacks and dinners and meals.
He was giving them his food from his meal card.
Yeah. But it's because they can go to a store and get like all the chips and all that sort of stuff and snacks.
So funny.
So he was supplying all the snacks.
Oh my gosh!
What a cool guy! Like for a young guy to think about that, that's great. So
I'm just picturing you walking on campus with him. I mean, the dude is like in his 20s. Yeah. You're not in his 20s. You're double that at least. What? And people probably thought you were like his dad.
I was born in the same year as his dad. Just saying.
So you could be his dad.
I 100% could be his father. So yeah. And you know what? If I was, what a proud father I'd be too. Because what a good kid he is. Like,
yeah, right.
He really is. Yeah.
Using his meal dollars for events.
I know.
That's resourcefulness right there.
So, Josh, you've never been to Morgantown. This place, it is obviously predominantly the WV, the university town. It is a very heavy university town.
University of West Virginia?
University of West Virginia, yeah. And so he gave me a tour of the campus. This is my favourite part. They call it, the PRT or the PERT. So if you're the cool kids, you go, let's ride on the PERT.
Hey, let's go
ride on the PERT.
And go, I don't know.
Next class.
I don't know what you do in the PERT.
Go to the next class on the PERT.
Go to your class.
PERT, PRT, means Personal Rapid Transit. Now, this thing was built by Boeing in 1975. It is the only one in existence still to this day in the world. It has several mini bus/tram like objects where you go into like a train or tram station, and you press a button as to where you want to go. You then look around, and one door will open on one of these little miniature buses. You walk, and it has up the top where you're going. You then get onto that miniature bus tram. The doors close, and all of a sudden you're whisked off, and you're actually it doesn't stop anywhere apart from where you want to stop. So it's a personal rapid transport. Now,
that's fascinating.
This thing does not go on roads. It is powered by electric because it's got like electric things out the side. So it's electric, but it runs on actual rubber tires. It runs on like a concrete sort of strip area, and they can pass each other in passing bays.
What?
Yes. It is absolutely incredible.
This was built in 1975?
You got to look this up.
I need to look at a video of
Look it up while I'm still talking about it. Built by Boeing, 1975, personal rapid transit in Morgantown. When I rode on it, I'm going to do a TikTok on it as well because it was fun. It was only Morgan. It was only Carson and I in there because he wanted to take me around. So, and sure enough, you bypass. There's little bypass areas where you bypass, or everyone else stops at the different areas and stuff too. So yeah, it is absolutely incredible, Josh.
Wow, it sounds like the future,
but it's stopped.
Old. It's like 40 years old, 50 years old.
Well, I was born in 75, 49 years old.
Oh my gosh. You guys got to look at this on YouTube because this doesn't sound real.
But it is.
It's individual. It reminds me of like if you've ever seen Willy Wonka.
Yes.
At the end, and he goes, you press this button, it goes here.
Yes.
Press this, you go anywhere in the factory.
That's exactly what it is.
That's what it is, but it's like it takes you anywhere around town. Or on campus. Around town. Even if you're not a student, can you ride it?
Yes. So if you're a student, it's free with your student pass. If you're a non-student, it costs you 50 cents.
Why can't we figure out this sort of personalized transit in other places?
They were going to do it apparently in other areas, but didn't for some unknown reason. Now, they haven't had an issue with it. Every now and then, it'll go down. Now, there is actually people, Josh, that are there. It is open. It is only open like from 6 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. or whatever. They open it till after midnight if there's one of the college football games on to get people dispersed. But there are one or two actual people who work in the control center, in the control room, to make sure everything's going smoothly.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go.
So,
personal rapid transit.
You know why I want to visit Morgantown?
Mm?
One of my favorite people was born there.
Who?
I don't know if you're going to know this person because you're Australian. But the people listening will, especially if they're over 50 years old.
Oh.
This is the birthplace of Don Knotts. Do you
Yeah,
know
no.
who Don Knotts
No,
is?
I don't.
Oh, my gosh, Greg.
I'm going to have to look
If
it
I
up
say Barney Fife, do you know who I'm talking about?
Barney Fife.
From the Andy Griffith Show.
Oh, no.
You know? Oh, Greg.
No.
Oh, God. It's like one of the greatest classic shows of all time. Nip it in the bud. Don Knotts, great comedian.
I know Don Knotts. I just looked him up.
The bumbling, nervous deputy.
Yes.
Don Knotts,
I just looked him up. I didn't know his name, but I recognize his face.
Nip it in the bud.
Yes. There you go.
You know,
he was born there.
He was born there. And you know what? I'm sure he lived there. And, he probably went back to his hometown. And in 1975, he looked at that tram system, thought to himself, boy, am I proud of my town or what?
Oh, I knew you'd get it in somewhere.
That's a damn rare thing these days. When you're proud of your town. I did it.
You did, and it wasn't in Uranus. Anyway, moving on from there. So there you go. If you go on, guys, again, have a look at it. Personal Rapid Transit, PRT, in Morgantown, West Virginia.
Get on the PERT.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll be honest, there's lots of kids on there, all young college kids.
Oh, yeah.
It is what it is. After that, Josh, I was still heading west. I went through Ohio, and I went through Newark, Ohio. The reason why I went through Newark, because I had to divert slightly, it's because of you, Josh, and you alone. You love
jealous.
Big things.
Yes,
This
I do.
was a big thing. This is the world's largest picnic basket located in Newark, Ohio. And it is an actual office building. It's a real building. Yeah, it's a real building.
But it's a picnic basket.
It's an actual picnic basket. In the woven parts of the picnic basket are the windows for the building. So that's what it's
so
like.
cool. You got to look at the pictures. It is the Longa Burger
that's the one.
Baskets.
Yes.
It's a basket company.
It's a basket company, yeah.
And their office is a basket.
And there you go. So there you go.
It's
one for your list.
Delightful.
One for your list.
We might need to put this as next year's roadside attractions March Madness.
Oh, maybe.
It looks pretty cool. The fact that it's not only a big thing, but it's also a functional office.
Yes.
That's pretty unique. You could probably I wonder if they're tours.
No
tours.
No tours, because it's a real business. Like it's a real office business
what
area.
If you're
so
a real basket fan,
if you're a basket,
or what
case.
if you're a basket case?
I'll bet you do it.
Have the time to listen to me? Okay, sorry.
All right, enough of the basket stuff now, because we're going to move on. We don't want this to go too long.
Are we finally going to Uranus?
We are.
Yes.
Now, people out there, I'm not trying to be dirty. I'm not trying to be vulgar. We used to call the planet before everything. Before it was what do you call it now?
If you're
Uranus.
classy, you call it Uranus.
Uranus, but in actual fact, it's called Uranus, and it's been called Uranus for decades and decades and decades of time. So there is a town called Uranus in Missouri.
Okay.
An actual physical place called Uranus, and it's in Missouri. It's straight off the highway. They are proud. These guys are proud of their town. I'll tell you
They're
that
proud
much,
of
Josh.
Uranus.
Exactly right. Now, and everything you say about this town, Josh, it creates a giggle. It creates a pun, no matter what you say.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And so, of course, there's lots of Munzys there. There's Venture Lab there as well, Virtual Cash. So the mayor of the town has a big statue for him with a big cowboy hat on, and he's very proud because he's in his red, white, and blues, And this statue, ordinarily, and I'll get to why I say ordinarily. This statue ordinarily would be between, I'm going to say, 30 foot tall. Okay. Like, it is a big statue.
All right.
When we went there, it was probably about 25 foot tall.
Okay.
He'd lost his head. So he's a headless mayor.
What?
Now, I went in and I asked why there was no head. Apparently 2 or 3 weeks before we got there, they had a tornado go through, and the tornado tore his head off. Wow. So the mayor of Uranus had his head torn off by a tornado. So there you go.
Wow.
But there as well, they are very proud because they have the fudge factory, Josh.
The fudge factory in Uranus?
They have the best fudges in Uranus. That's what they say. That's one of their That's one of their slogans.
I tell me more. I mean,
you've got to go in there, and it's not just a fudge factory, but it's like a little town area as well. So they've got the another world's largest is there, Josh, too. This isn't in the show notes. I forgot about this till now.
What?
The world's largest belt buckle is there. This world's largest belt buckle itself, I'm going to say, height-wise, is going to be almost 10 foot tall. The world's largest belt buckle, cowboy belt buckle. So yeah, there you go. It's in Uranus, Missouri. So it's got a little police station there as well. And yes, they vowed and declared to serve and protect Uranus. You know, so that's what they're there for.
Somebody's got to do it.
Exactly right. That's what they say. You walk into the fudge factory, Josh, and as you walk in, you know, Josh, you remember walking into Buc-ee's? What did you hear? As soon as you walk into Buc-ee's, what do they say?
Welcome to Buc-ee's.
What do they say here?
Welcome to Uranus.
Yes. As soon as you walk in there, and they're excited. They go, welcome to Uranus.
And then you look behind you like, oh, what?
It says on the door, like, you know, entering Uranus in the door and then exit Uranus on the other door. You go in and you see all these, like the stickers are there, the merch is there, the shirts are there. Some of these shirts, now I'm not going to say all of them. If you want to
some of them are dirty.
If you want to look at the shirt, some of them go too far for me to a certain degree. Yeah. But things like the Uranus Brake Repair Clinic. Okay. And it talks about don't leave skid marks around Uranus.
You wouldn't want that.
No, not at all. Bad. Not at all. And then, of course, they've got the Uranus Dental and Proctology Clinic is there as well. So,
this is just perfect for a 12-year-old.
Exactly. But
great 12-year-old humor.
One of the best parts as well is that the staff members there are very quick-witted. Obviously, they do it daily, Josh. They're there every single day.
They commit to the bit.
They know the puns. They know what works. And then as you leave, if you buy something, they yell out at you, thanks for picking Uranus. So, yeah. It's ongoing. It is a place. Oh. It is a place where you need to stop. Again, this may be a March Madness next year, just saying.
Yes, and it's on Route 66.
Yes, it is on Route 66.
And I think a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, our friend Valerie from Silly America, she made a road trip there because she wanted to go to the fudge eating contest.
Yes.
Every year they have a fudge eating contest at
Uranus. Yeah. And I will say it's
the
delicious.
Best place to have it.
It is delicious fudge too. I will say
I'm
that.
Sure.
Yeah. And lots of different flavor fudge comes through, not just the chocolate stuff. So,
this is a must visit.
Yes,
I need to get to. I need to visit Uranus.
Yep. See, even you can't.
It's like you can't even help it. You can't help it.
You can't. It's what comes out of your mouth. You know, that sort of thing. So it is what it is. All right, moving on from that sort of level of humor because we all love it.
Yeah, let's move on.
I went slightly south. Now, people have been asking me on different, like Munzy people and stuff, saying, Craig, what did you kind of went south before you went north, straight north. What did you do that for? Josh, one reason only.
Why?
I had to go. Well, you and I were in Alabama with Tim, with Minnesota boy Tim, and we had bread chucked at our heads.
Oh yes,
at Lambert's Cafe.
It was such
in Alabama,
the home of the Throwed Rolls.
Yes, they have two other restaurants, Josh.
It's a chain.
It's a chain. Three in this chain. And the most northern one I could find was in the Ozarks near Springfield.
Wow.
And it's called Lambert's Cafe, exactly the same. Ozarks, Springfield, Throwed Rolls. Josh, it is just as good as Alabama. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same.
Now,
busier. I'll say it's busier. They
probably more of a touristy. I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know. The Gulf Shore is pretty touristy, but maybe it was the time we went.
Exactly. I was going to say the time we went. They have 3 full areas to eat. You know, you wait, you put your name down, they say 20-minute wait, and you lie. Everyone's sitting around all the parking lot, and buses pull up with, you know, kids coming out on road trips and stuff as well. So it is busy, but it is so worth it.
So I have to ask a question. Though. When we went to Lambert's in Alabama, we had a gentleman that literally threw the roll across the entire room. I'd say it was about 40 feet, maybe 50 feet.
Yeah.
I saw a video. You sent me a video. It was like a kid, like probably a 14-year-old kid, and he just like underhanded it.
Exactly.
Not as far.
That's going to say to me the only difference that I found between Alabama and this one. Food was delicious. Yeah. Rolls were to die for. If you're a bread fan, my goodness, wow.
Get those carbs.
It was still warm, delicious.
Yes.
You know, they're like a muffin because they're baked in like a muffin tray. So they've got that real small bottom but then a puffy top.
You gotta stop because we might have to make a road trip.
I know, right? I know. So there you go. So I went to Lambert's Cafe, and that's the reason why I went south.
Just for that.
Just for that.
Just for to get a roll thrown at you.
Yeah. That's all it was.
I respect that.
Exactly. So, and this is the thing, Josh. Not all our travels is based around our love of outdoor games, but also my love of food. So, all right, I went north after this. Going north, we're going to talk about Marceline, Ohio. I think that's the way you pronounce it. Marceline? How would you pronounce that? Marceline? Marceline, Ohio?
Marceline? I don't know. Marceline? I don't know.
Again,
let's say Marceline. Marceline. Because Celine's in the end of it.
It is. Marceline. Marcel.
Now, this can't be in order because you were in Missouri and then you're talking about Ohio. So this is just...
Oh.
Right?
No, that's in order.
No, because it shouldn't have been Ohio. Are you sure it wasn't Missouri?
Might have been Missouri. Oh, it was Missouri.
Sorry. Okay.
Sorry, that's my fault. Yes, Missouri, Marceline, Missouri. My fault. My bad. See, I'm so busy, Josh. That's told
okay.
you.
It just didn't make sense. So I wanted to, I was fact checking.
Fair enough.
Then it just shows I'm paying attention.
Now, the reason why I was there anyway, again, was a part of the Cash Across America series. You see,
Cash Across America. Missouri,
yes. Yeah. It was Missouri, yes. Yeah.
There you go.
Wow. But this, we were saying before about the Cash Across America series, how they're an older series. Sometimes it's, a nice big hike area, good containers. Woods. This one here, it was a little bit of a walk.
Okay.
But it was more about the location in which it was. So it was, you park out the front, there's full parking there, all free. Now, everything I'm going to say from here on in is free. It costs you nothing.
Wow.
Nothing but your time.
Cool.
You park at the front. You then walk towards the sort of, a nice nature trail area. This nature trail, beautifully kept nature trail.
Okay.
Gorgeously kept nature trail. There's signs leading up through the park. The signs talk about Walt Disney.
Huh.
And they talk about Walt Disney as a child.
Ooh.
And each sign, as you go through, basically is each, not generation, but each sort of year of his childhood.
Okay.
And it goes up to the point where you cross a nice little bridge. It goes up to a point where the sign tells you about how he used to, Josh, his first time ever, I think he's 10 cents per person for his neighbors. He charged for them to come into a barn where he had dressed up his cat, his dog, he had an awkward-looking donkey, and some chickens.
Okay.
And he put on a show.
Of course he did.
Those people that were there booed. They didn't like it. His mother then insisted that he give the money back, refund the money, and always said to him, and this instilled in him for the rest of his life, and that is, you give them more value than what you charge. Always give them more value than what you charge. So that came from his mother.
Interesting.
Yeah. Meanwhile, behind that sign, Josh, behind that exact sign is the barn. It gets better.
Okay.
The barn, you can walk in.
Really?
It's open. It's free.
Neat.
There's Sharpies around the barn.
Yes.
It's a gravel floor. There's Sharpies around the barn.
Can you sign the barn?
You can sign the barn. You can sign it with your
name.
name.
Is it virtual?
No.
It should be.
I know,
That'd
but
be
it's
an
not.
awesome logging requirement.
Oh, absolutely. It's
sign
not a
the
virtual.
barn.
The only thing there is the Cash Across America Cash, which is actually just outside, but it takes you to the barn. Yes. I spent more time in the barn looking around, doing some video work and stuff as well than what I did actually at the cash.
So, okay, this is Walt Disney's family farm. Is this his hometown? I mean, obviously he grew up here.
Yes, this is his farm before. And then what he did was...
Was he born there? Was he born in Missouri? I got to look that up. We got to fact check.
You look that up. Meanwhile, what he did was when he moved to California, when he became an adult and he moved to California, he got a barn built exactly the same on his property in California because his memories of that barn. And it's the same barn that I walked into personally.
That's interesting.
So if you're a Walt Disney fan, Marsland in Missouri is a place to go.
In case you're wondering, this must have been a boyhood home because he was born in Chicago.
Oh, there you go.
Fun fact.
It was boyhood farm.
In 1901. Well, that's cool. Well, I mean, if you're a Disney fan, like if you're deep in, that would be a really cool place to visit.
Yep. So, and again,
it was Cash Across America that brought you there. That's what this podcast is about.
There you go.
Would you have visited there or maybe even known about it if it wasn't for geocaching?
No, not at all.
Boom.
Not at all.
Another win for geocaching.
Exactly right. So, meanwhile, Josh, there is a couple of Munzys there as well that will guide you as well. So, anyway.
Of course there is.
But what blew me away, Josh, was the fact that, number one, it's all free. It's free to parking there, beautiful area, and it's all managed by the love of Walt Disney from the town folk. So there's a committee there that keep it up to date as well. Obviously, your name's not going to be on the walls because it was, Josh, I'm telling you, every wall, what do you call them?
Every inch
of it.
Every
banister. There's some like wine barrels in there as well. Even the barrels were done, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
So it's fascinating. His mom said, never charge more than what you bring.
Exactly right.
Do you think they still live by that? Because let's be real. Tickets to get into Walt Disney for one day. Last time I was there was $180 for one person for one day.
It's he's not alive anymore, so it can't be. It's a board now. It's
they still honor his spirit. I don't know. Well, I'll just say this: I've been to Walt Disney World Park for almost 4 years in a row. I go down there every year, so I pay it. So
you do.
I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't pay it if it wasn't worth it.
This is true. So it must be worth
it. Especially Galaxy's Edge. That was awesome. May the fourth be with you. Okay.
And then, Josh, this is
cool. I've been here.
You've been this one. Well,
I told you to go there.
Yeah, you did. So I was in an area called Mason City, Iowa. In Iowa.
Yes.
And you said to me, Craig, do you see this place? It's where Buddy Holly crash site.
Yeah,
it's where the music died.
It's where
Here we go. I knew it. I was waiting
American
for it.
Pie, the Don McLean song, which is all about Buddy Holly.
Yep.
Richie Valens, the Big Bopper, February 1950 something, late 50s. Winter Storm. I think they were flying up. This is just pure off memory. I'm not looking at this. They were flying up to Minnesota, I believe.
Yeah.
And they
from
took
Mason
off.
City.
Yeah, and they took off and they crashed in the winter storm in the middle of an Iowa cornfield.
But did you know that decision was only made that afternoon? They were going to get back on the bus. And Buddy said, "No, I don't want to go on the bus anymore."
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
he had like a friend because he was like, you can get to this destination faster.
Yes,
through the flight. So some people, I believe, like Eddie Cochran, who's saying "There ain't no cure for the summertime blues." That song.
Yeah,
he took the bus.
Yeah,
he lived.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so sad. Buddy Holly, I mean, in his prime. Richie Valens, if you've ever seen the movie La Bamba.
Yes.
I mean, with Lou Diamond Phillips. Great movie, by the way. If you haven't seen that movie for a while.
Yep.
But the kid was a teenager. Oh. He was like barely 18 or 19 years old.
He was ahead of his time too with his music.
Oh,
he was well ahead of his time. So that's the area. So you told me to go to this place. And again, I looked and went, oh my goodness, I have to go to this place as well. It's just outside. So it's just a little bit west of Mason City because obviously they took off. But the best thing about this place, Josh, is that they crashed and died in a cornfield.
Yes.
In the middle of a cornfield.
Right.
Right. How would you normally go? Well, there's obviously... There's a big set of glasses on the roadside.
Yeah, Buddy Holly glasses.
Buddy Holly glasses, big.
They're big.
Huge.
It's a big thing.
It's a big thing. The Buddy Holly glasses is a big thing, and there's a tribute there as well. So you can go there. That's okay. But Josh, some people go, you know what? I actually want to go to the site. But
right.
The site's on private property.
Yes.
Because it's on a farm.
A farmer's property. Yeah.
This farmer. He allows, not only does he allow people to walk down the actual side of the, or through the property and along a fence line,
right.
but he mows that area.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
And I thought to myself as well, this guy is actually losing out on actual farmland because he mows 6 foot. He could have another 6 foot and sow like another mile almost.
It's like the real life. It's like the real life Field of Dreams.
Yes. Yeah, if you build, we did come. And so, you can walk along and you can then walk to the actual shrine of where it crashed, and they've got what I liked as well. They've got a really nice area there for the three of them with their 3 records as well that they died. But then off to the side as well, people forget about it. Off to the side, they've got a nice little Silver Wings memorial for the pilot. Oh. And I thought to myself, wow, that's interesting because everyone thinks that it's just going to be the 3 actual stars. But no, another life was lost, and that was the life of the pilot. So he's memorialized too with a nice set of silver wings off to the side, so not part of the group, you know what I mean? The music died, the stars, but he's still memorialized off to the side, which is what I liked as well. That was cool. That was really cool.
So of course there is a virtual there at the crash site.
Yep, there is.
And it's called Holly Shrine.
Yes.
Not Holy Shrine.
No, Holly Shrine.
Holly Shrine.
Exactly right.
GC 6780. It's pretty old. It's like it's before I started caching. Let me see. It was hidden in 2002. So it's an oldie.
It's an oldie. And at the same time, this is one of those good, I call them good virtuals, whereby all you have to do is take a photo.
Yes.
No answers, no questions, just take a photo.
And people visit this from all over the world.
They do. Yeah.
And if you had time, I have not done this ever before, but I want to. The Clear Lake Ballroom is where they perform their final show.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a historic venue, and they've kept it up, and they still have performances and shows.
Wow.
So, and then I think inside it's almost like a kind of a museum too, like Buddy Holly and all those. So another, which I think also is a virtual too.
Oh, there you
go. And I think you were going to mention this.
I was.
Okay, go ahead. I did see this.
Yeah.
Which means I need to visit again.
You need to go ahead.
No, you tell them.
You do need to visit again though, because at the front of the walk area as well, they've now got a traditional cache, and the traditional cache is called Peggy Sue. So that's really good. And
I'll resist myself from singing.
It's nice. It's nice. It's just a little bison tube. But it's nice. It's a start. And it's a traditional cache. But I find the best part about the whole thing is across the road, again on farmers' private land, they have put out a parking area for people to go, so they stay off the road. They can park it. I mean, it's dirt road, Josh. Either way, it's dirt road everywhere here.
Right.
It's farmland, but they'd made a little parking lot for everyone there, and it's got like a little picnic table there. So if you want to have a little rest for yourself, but they have a board that goes up. Now, obviously, this board that goes up, and then there's a pole that goes up with a big guitar that lights up at night. On top of it, yes, this guitar lights up at night on top of the actual pole. There's a board, and on the board they do 3D printed plastic guitars. Now, the main part of the guitar is actually a glow-in-the-dark guitar pick. Oh. So you can use it as a guitar pick or put it back in.
And you can just take them, or
they say with donation.
Yeah.
So, but they're on a board. No one's around. So whatever donation,
cool.
they've got a little donation
on
box.
Your honor.
It's honor.
It's like geocaching.
Yeah, exactly right. It's an honor system. So that's to me, that was one of the parts that I thought to myself, well, not only are these farmers losing money by their property lines and also the parking area, but here they are now. They're doing this as well for it too. That's cool. That's really cool.
And another reason I have to visit again. Is that there's a 5-stage adventure.
Oh, there is.
So you can get 5 more finds. So if you visit the site, you can get a total of 7 finds.
Yeah.
And see a really cool place that people come from all over the world to see.
Yeah. So you can get 7 geocaching finds, and of course there's Munzy virtuals all the way along the walk path as well. So of course there is.
Another reason to visit.
Always is, mate. Always is.
Well, that's a great highlight. I can't believe we've talked about a lot about Secret Iowa, when we had our friend Megan Olio in Iowa on here. But I don't think we talked. I can't remember. I don't think we talked about this. And this is a good spot, hidden gem.
But then after this area, and this isn't on the show notes because I forgot to put it on. After this, just to let everyone know, they probably heard it on the last episode as well.
Yes.
I'd booked in an area where I was going to stay the night. Now, Josh messaged me a couple of hours after I'd made my booking, and he said, "Where are you going to stay?" And I told him the town, Josh. The town was?
Fairmont, Minnesota.
And you were like, "Oh my goodness, are you really? Are you serious?" I said, "Yes." And I said, "Why?" You said, "I'm going to be there too."
You're probably like, what?
I was like, stalker.
Yeah,
stalker.
You're just going to drive down. You're like, I'm coming up to Minneapolis this weekend.
Exactly.
Like, can't you wait?
You can't wait. But no, you were there for work, for real work purposes.
Yes.
But the best part is, that's your hometown.
It's my hometown.
Yes, and you're proud of your hometown.
I'm so proud of my hometown. You know, I even made you drive by my childhood home.
Yeah.
And I pointed at it.
Yep,
I was like, it's right there. Like you really cared. But yeah, you saw where it all began.
I got a question for you. A question for the listeners, actually. Walt Disney childhood barn, Joshua Johnson childhood home.
I should make a virtual there or something. Now, what did you think of my hometown? Like, we had dinner at the Channel Inn.
Yes.
Which was right on the lake. So it's Fairmont, Minnesota. It's in the middle of southern Minnesota, which is just pretty much farmland.
Last time, Josh, I was here in Minneapolis with you. You gave me the Juicy Lucy. The burger with the cheese injected into the meat. Classic. Classic. Here, this place, though, you gave me something else. You gave me something salty.
It was called the Sweet Burger. You got the SNS burger.
I got the SNS burger,
which is similar to the Sweet Burger. Yep. But the Sweet Burger, I'm just a huge fan of green olives. Controversial, I know.
Very.
I think green olives are one of those things that people either love them or they hate them. I don't know anybody that's like,
in between.
Oh, they're okay. I think most people are like, oh my God, green olives are so good. Or green olives are gross.
Yep.
This is a burger with Swiss cheese covered. You can't even see the cheese or the burger covered with green olives.
Yeah.
And it's so salty.
Yes.
And tell them what you had.
Mine was almost exactly the same, except it had probably, I'm going to say, 3/4 of the amount of olives, not all of the olives. And the other part of it, though, was the sautéed mushrooms. And the reason why I have it, because I'm a fun guy, just saying. Anyway. But yeah, so we had that burger at your little area. Yeah. We drove up, and I'm talking we only drove because we were going somewhere else. We drove up, I'm going to say, Josh, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's going to be 15 blocks of land, like 15 houses, and then that's where your
I was right there.
You were right there.
I wasn't on the lake, but I was across the street from the lake.
Exactly. Now, this area is got how many lakes? 1, 2, 5 lakes in total.
And they all are connected.
Yeah.
So if you have I grew up here. If you had a boat, like you could just cruise around on these lakes. And you learn how to ski. And
you can go underneath the bridges where
it's cool.
It was a really nice place. It was, and to me, Josh, because this time of year, obviously no snow. It boggles my mind still thinking about how green and lush the place is.
And then it's like tundra.
Yeah.
Not this year.
It's all white in winter. I'm like, how can that be? You know,
then there's ice houses on all those lakes. It's like a little village out there.
Yeah, amazing.
It was fun to have you in my hometown.
And then Josh says, well, let's not finish here. I've got another place we can go to, but I don't know if you're going to like it or not. It's a dive bar. I'm like, yes, take me there. And we did. We went to your childhood dive bar.
Which is kind of weird to say.
It is. But it's a what would you class it as? It's like a timber nook area.
Yeah, it was kind of downtown. Mm-hmm. And when I say it's my childhood bar, it's a place where my parents like hung out after a long day of work.
Exactly. Roughly.
And it changed a little bit because, the laws about smoking changed.
Yes,
and so it wasn't smoky.
Nope.
Yeah, and we enjoyed our time there. Mm-hmm. And I think when we walked into there, it was like silent. It was like walking into a library. Didn't it feel like it was like, whoa, there wasn't a TV on?
Nope.
There wasn't any music playing?
No one really talking?
There was just like
6 or 7 people there.
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4.
3 or 4 people
3 or 4 men at the bar. Nobody. It was like a library. It was kind of eerie.
Josh, you've seen those old Western movies where the bar's there and the bar's rocking and they're playing the piano or whatever, and then you've got
you walk in.
The outlaw walks into the bar and everyone stops.
Woo! Wah, wah, wah.
And the heads turn and look at the bar. I felt everyone looking straight at us.
You ain't from this place. You sound like you're from somewhere else.
Yeah, that's with me. They're talking to me. But they're like, you are from this place. But we go in, we played some pool.
So quiet.
But one of my favorite parts is
me too.
touch tunes.
Oh, we love the touch tunes. And it's pretty, I'll just say it was pretty bold to go into a silent bar, library silent, and then like all of a sudden start jamming out
with the touch tunes.
And the touch tunes, I love when the touch tunes, they actually turn it up.
Yes.
Because some touch tunes you play, when I say touch tunes, if you don't know what I'm talking, it's a jukebox.
Yes, it is a jukebox.
But you can control it from your phone.
Yeah, with an app.
And you can play anything.
Yeah.
And so we love going into places and be like, what's the vibe?
Yes.
What's the vibe here?
And you can, if you go to a place and you log in, you can actually sort of cheat with the vibe by looking at what their most common songs are played at that particular bar. You can do that.
Which is a good tool.
It is.
Or you could go off the rails.
And do what Josh did. And he's saying to me, Craig, look around the room, read the room. There was a guy there with some country star shirt on.
Alan Jackson.
And you didn't know who Alan Jackson was to begin with. And so we're sort of, we're Googling away, trying to find this
But we figured
star.
it out.
We figured it out.
It was Alan Jackson.
Yeah. And sure enough, Josh plays some of this Alan Jackson. And you saw him. Josh, he was sitting there. He's all with his cap on. He's all
not talking.
Down, not talking to anyone. And he's just drinking his little whiskey or whatever he was. And then you put the Alan Jackson on, and his heels started bouncing, just slowly.
I was like, we made that guy's night.
Yeah, you did. You did. See, there we go.
The funny thing is, the first song you play is "I Come From a Land Down Under."
I needed to show people where I was, so where I come from.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
That was a good time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's my trip, Josh. So far, that's my trip.
Because this weekend we have Munzy Mania. But if you're listening to this, you just experienced, and we manifested it already.
We did.
An amazing time at Geo Woodstock. And that will be our next episode.
Yes.
A live show from Geo Woodstock.
Yep.
With, I'm going to manifest it, hundreds of people there.
Hundreds, if not thousands.
Well, gosh. I mean, if everybody showed up, it would be thousands. Because there's going to be a lot of people there. Like, there's going to be over 2,000 people there.
And if it gets more people in, just to let everyone know, Dave Barsky's going to be there too. If that attracts more people, which it should, he's going to be there too. He's going to be on the desk helping us out with everything there as well. So
if you're listening to this right now, it already happened.
Oh, yeah, it did.
It already happened. However, you're going to get to hear it in 2 weeks.
Yes, you will. 2 weeks
and
time.
I'm going to manifest that it was a great show.
The audience participation was fantastic.
It was so good. People told us about their favorite Geo Woodstock. It was awesome. It already happened.
There's so many applause and laughter.
Manifesting. All right.
And we saw our patrons there too, Josh. We saw some patrons there as well.
It was so fun to see the patrons. I always love to see the patrons.
And if people want to become patrons.
Yeah. And if you're not a patron, come on, help us out. We need support. The podcasts are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
There's the hosting. There is, and the hosting, like we run this through AI to make it sound great. We want this to be like a biscuit, a thrown roll, thrown at your ears. We want this to be deliciousness.
Yes.
And into your, thrown right in.
We want it to make you listen to this and make you travel out of your way to have this series.
Totally. Yeah. Totally. So support us on Patreon. Mm-hmm. There's some gold nuggets there. There's some podcasts that nobody's heard.
Nobody's heard. Extra bits from
except the patrons.
Other guests, Josh.
Yeah,
we've had other guests on.
Golden nuggets.
Yeah.
So you can find us patreon.com/treasures of our town. And you can support us on several levels. I think it's $3 a month, $5, or $10.
Exactly. Whichever you prefer. There's even a free section there as well. If you just want to try it out first and think, I mean, you won't get all the good stuff. Don't get us wrong for the free thing. Yeah. But it's just a trial. If you want to trial it, you can trial it there too. So get on to Treasures of Our Town at Patreon. Otherwise, Josh, how can people contact us if they wish to?
This doesn't need to be a one-way conversation.
No, I know.
It needs to be 2 ways or 3 ways because it's Craig, me, and you.
Exactly.
You can reach out to us through email, treasuresofourtownpodcast@gmail.com. Or, of course, you can reach us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and YouTube.
So that's it for our show today. Please subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting app. And as always, Josh,
may your travels always lead you to the most unexpected and amazing hidden gems like Uranus. See you next time. I had to do it.
Bye.
I had to do it. I couldn't.